seek someone, right? So
it's interesting that you point that out, because my mom she often like talks about this with me, but she's like, I feel bad for men. She mentioned that once, and I was like, why do you feel bad for men? And I was like, the system works in their favor. And then she was like, well, like, like, let's say like they're in a bar and then some girl is being harassed in some way, and then you have a dude in your friend group, and then automatically he's expected to do something about that. And like, what if he doesn't feel comfortable throwing hands or like fighting that dude? What if he doesn't, like, what about him? Like, he doesn't have an option because everyone's relying on him to protect the woman. And then I was like, damn, I've never thought about that, It's like,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was actually in that situation with a group of friends, and it was 2 guys and 3 girls, and we were going to the club, and both of the girls, it was their boyfriends, right? It was their partners. But I have one friend who's a little rowdy. She's single, or was single at the time. Anyways, but I remember she was getting rowdy, and she was giving the bodyguard, like, she was just mouthing off. And not to the bodyguard, excuse me, one of the bouncers, but then also another person from a different group. And the boyfriend of my friend was like, yo, chill out. Like, who's going to have to defend you? Like, I don't want to fight nobody tonight. So it's like, in part, they want to protect you, but it's like, they don't make them, it's like, don't make me have to fight anybody tonight. So yeah, I get what you mean. It kind of goes both ways, where it's like it's almost expected of men, which is also part problematic, because it's not about us being any less independent or any less just being able to handle our own, or whatever the case may be, or that we need somebody to quote unquote save us. But yeah, and I think Nigel had asked me too. He's like, we, just because of situations we've been in where it's like, if someone comes out of the way and they try and fight you, what do you do as the third person watching your partner almost get their ass beat? It's because I wouldn't know what to do. It's like, do you call the police? No. Do you seek for help? So he's like, you don't know what to do. I forgot where I was going with that.
I think I'd throw hands.
You would fight? You would
yeah, going to the...
My question was to her. I said, if I see you and another woman fighting and she's winning, does that mean I have to join the fight?
Yes.
Exactly. That's what I think. I think that's what that means. It means
I'm trying to lose.
It means it's a tag team match now.
Girl.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. First of all, if I'm losing and I'm getting my ass beat heavily, I don't want to lose. What if she knocks out some teeth and stuff and breaks my nose? No, thank you.
I am a lover, not a fighter. So you will probably...
I mean, yeah, it would never stem from me. I would never start a fight like that.
I also don't want to come off like I'm this bad bitch who fights all the time.
No, I don't fight.
I've never even been in a fight, like a real one. I've gotten smacked and smacked the person back, but not like punch to the face.
I've never fought in my life, y'all. So.
I am a weenie.
She over here.
I'm a weenie.
I'm a join in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have friends who are the other way. They're like, I'll go to jail tonight. I don't care. And I'm like, girl, like,
no, I would not go to jail tonight.
I want to sleep in my own bed. No, thank you. But
yeah,
back to the point. What do you think though? I kind of want to pull a little bit more, or tap a little bit more into this conversation of expecting men to defend women, but also because like how you were asking, or who was it, your aunt or your uncle that said like, I feel bad for men, because my mom. Sometimes I'm like, I'm so glad I'm not a man right now, because a man right now, because of X, Y, and Z, and situations like that where it's like, man, I don't know what I would do.
I feel bad for men. I wholeheartedly do sometimes. I think I feel more bad for men than, I don't know, because I feel like men, they face a lot too, and I feel like a lot of people dismiss what they go through, and that's not to dismiss the violence that not all men, but the violence that men do inflict on women. I acknowledge that, but also men have to battle with themselves a lot. And I cut you off. I am so sorry. I cut you off. But it's like, I've seen it with my cousin, where we talk about height, where we talk about wage, where we talk about like, oh, women expect this from me. Women expect this from me. And I feel bad because I'm like, oh my gosh, like, how do I help you right now? Like, I don't know. And that's not to say that those things are true or not true. From what I've seen and heard women talk, yes, majority of what they say is true.
Sure.
The whole height thing, the whole like, well, a dude needs to take care of me, or like, we can go 50 and 50, but you know, I need to know that he is financially stable. All these things, right? Where it's like, okay, but are you financially stable? Like, are you applying it to you? Like, you know? Mm-hmm. So what did you want to add?
Just that because we, as much as we like to talk about sexism and all the isms, we also talk about what we perpetuate ourselves and just the internalized sexism. So as women, we can't, just like we don't want men to expect women to have this hourglass figure and perfect hair all the time and the makeup to be flawless, you know, the perfect, quote unquote, perfect woman, perfect body or whatever. Same goes with men. There are men who have, I guess we're going into body now, like body dysphoria and all that. But no, just like little things like chest hair or not. Yeah. Men are, you know, because like men are judged if they're more heavy set, more bulkier, or they're really skinny. A lot of people make fun of men for being small, and smaller men feel insecure about that. I know a lot of men can relate to this as being insecure about their voice. So not having a deep voice, maybe having like abs, or just this expectation of having that, because just like there are for women, there's expectations.
Facial hair.
I know that was a big one. I liked it particularly, and I know a lot of men can't grow a mustache or a beard, and it's like, is that going to be a deal breaker? Like, that's a bit stupid. A bit.
Yeah.
Just go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off. I feel like to all of those points, I've honestly felt some type of way about it. Like, you know, I'm 5'10", 5'11" in shoes, you know, so I've always wanted to be 6 foot. I've been 5'10" since I was about 15, 16. So, you know, I was like hoping, you know, 6 foot, 6'1" was possible, but you know, it is what it is. And I think, while yes, a lot of people say their preferences, say what they want, a lot of women in particular, because I think women like to fine tune the details of what kind of man they want, whereas men face a lot more rejection. And so they don't really have that ability to fine tune what kind of woman they want, because, you know, they might find that person and then just get swerved, you know, and it's very real for women too, but it's possible for you guys as well. It's just a lot more likely for men.
Because men are the ones who reach out first.
Exactly.
See, that's the thing. They reach out the most.
Because over here, I'll be hanging out with my friend, and we'll be like, if we're dancing and they're like, she's single or something, and she's like, oh, why don't they come to me? And I'm like, you can go up to them, girl.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I'm like, that's the situation where like, I'm so glad I'm not a man right now, because the expectation of me to come across the room, feel confident enough in myself, make sure I look good, feel good, smell good, to reach over, you know, walk over the room, and now I have to think of some move or something smooth to say. And
it's a lot of pressure.
And she's drop dead gorgeous, like, and then it's like rejection is like, it's like a 90 or a 10 or a 50-50 shot that she might reject me, and I can't ask why and be like, wait, so what's the reason? Or like, what was
the reason?
Finally walk away and move on.
Keep it pushing. And it's kind of tough, because you be wanting to survey them afterwards, like, so what was it? The fit? Is it my fate? You know,
honestly, I would ask.
No, I mean, you feel the need to, but as soon as you start asking, you gotta look. You start looking like a creep. You know, you start getting a little weird. As soon as you start doing too much, like,
that is true. You do look like a creep.
You know, it comes to experience too, though.
I'm sorry.
What I was gonna say is, like, the women might have all these preferences. Men might have all these preferences.
Yeah.
And once you meet like someone who just can speak to you the right way, and like it'll be weird. You completely never knew this person, have no prior connection with them, and just for some reason you really connect on a different level regardless of preferences, as long as they're treating you as the right person and you are attracted to this person. A lot of people end up making it work, and some people see that as settling, which isn't. It's like, if you built that connection and that's the connection you want, how could you even call it that? But, you know
in regards to this, like I was also someone who, well, I went back and forth with this growing up, right? I'm still growing up. I'm 22. But I used to like, maybe if you would have asked me a year ago, I would have been like, oh, I'm just going to wait for a dude to ask me out, right? But then now I'm like, wait, there's like, no, that's like faulty. Like, to me, it's like, okay, so then I'm just waiting for any guy to come and take me out. But like, what about the dudes that I like, that I would like to pursue and would like to have a chance with? So now my perspective has changed. I'm like, shoot your shot, girl. Like, like shoot your shot for the dudes that you actually like and that you find attractive. Because if you're just gonna be waiting, then like the
he
wrong
might
ones
never
are
come.
coming. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think more men are gonna be surprised by that and like thrown off.
But then like, wow, attracted.
Yeah, it's definitely an attraction feature, because this person sees me as attractive. It gives you a confidence boost. I remember the first time a girl came up to me, instantly as we were talking, and I heard her spitting game. And I was like, I see why women reject men so easily, because the confidence I have right now.
It's so easy to swear. Yeah.
It's so easy to curse somebody and like just be like, oh no, like can't do it. And it's even easier to be mean about it. So it's like, I completely understand where it comes from. But it's just like, a lot of people are, I think, in a lot of men, like I tell like my homies, I remember growing up when it was like, you might have a homie with less experience. I'd be like, bro, we're at this party, for about every 10 girls you try to talk to, you're going to get like between 6 to 8 no's. Just keep it pushing, because you got 4 to 2 chances. And if you only went to 6, number 7 is who you was going to talk to. Where number 7 might really fuck with you. She might really like you. It might actually be the girl you're going for. I think a lot of men blind themselves in beauty because you don't have you can't fine tune. So like any woman that's beautiful, shoot, she'll do. Yeah, her. And it's like, it's a low standard for men in themselves, because of the rejection they might face throughout time, and just their own insecurities that might be perpetuated by those rejections.
Needless to say, beauty isn't everything, y'all.
It's not.
But I have one last question for the guest. How does toxic masculinity affect your relationship with women?
Well, nowadays not too much. Because I don't want to say I'm not toxic. Obviously, I'm sure I have some traits that are still lingering, looming around. I think you two might be able to say something to that. I don't know.
We're not all perfect.
That didn't make me feel too good. But
I'm sorry. Never mind. That did not make him feel secure.
No.
But we're not. That's realistic, though.
It is. It's honest, and it's. But
what's something that you have noticed in your current relationship where you feel like it almost hits you? It's kind of like a light bulb goes off, where it's like, oh wow, I just did that, and I know where this comes. Like, I didn't realize in the moment, but then you do, and you're like, you kind of analyze and you go, wow, this actually goes back to my childhood or my father or
I think to that point, like in terms of in my relationship, I haven't reflected like that. I did more of that when I was single, whereas in now it's just more of like seeing like, oh, have more patience. Oh, like these things aren't that serious. Oh, like, where it's like, get out more and do, you know, like doing more for just myself and learning